What's up, everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of The Legend of Loincloth. Last episode we went and saw the Greybeards, learned a few more dragon words, and went after the Horn of Jorgen Windcaller as the final test for them. Of course, when we got to the depths of the dungeon that we were sent to, we found a mysterious note, and we're here in Riverwood trying to figure out who left it for us. So we asked for the attic room, as the note said.
I'm the innkeeper.
And the innkeeper tells us there's not an attic room.
Well, we don't have an attic room, but you can have the one on the left. Make yourself at home. We don't get a lot of
Take
travelers
this
here.
room. So in we go. And she's going to follow us in here.
So you're the Dragonborn I've been hearing so much about. I think you're looking for this. We need to talk. Follow me.
Alright, so it's the same Delphine as from when we retrieved the dragon stone. She just gave us the horn, so we need to go back to the Greybeards in a few minutes to give the horn back. But for now, she's going to take us down into her secret room. And we're going to talk about dragon stuff.
The Greybeards seem to think you're the Dragonborn. I hope they're right.
So she's all skeptical.
I hope so, but you'll forgive me if I don't assume that something's true just because the Greybeards
We're even
say
Dragonborn
so.
because it's a
I
really
just
rare
handed you
thing
the
that like
horn
never
of
ever
Jorgen
happens,
Windcaller.
and it's really important that
Does
we're
that make me a
Dragonborn because
Dragonborn too?
the Dragonborn is the only one that can beat the big bad dragon that broke us out of Helgen.
I didn't go to all... I am not your enemy. Like I said, I'm part of a group that... If you really are Dragonborn, that is. Anymore. Make sure I can trust you. We remember
So she wants
you're
to
the only
prove,
one
wants
that
us
can
to
kill a
prove
dragon permanently by
that we're the
Can you do
Dragonborn.
it?
So
Can
she
you
took the
devour
horn,
a
that doesn't
dragon?
mean anything.
Good. And you'll have a chance to prove it to me soon enough. Dragons aren't just coming. They weren't gone. Now something's happening to bring them back to life. And I need you to...
And she wants
We're
to
going to
take
go
us
there,
to
and you're
go to
going to
where the
kill
next
that
dragon
dragon.
is going
If
to
we
be brought back
succeed,
to life.
I'll tell you any... Kynes Grove. There's an
So we
ancient
can kill it right in
dragon
front of her
burial near-
and prove
I
that
need
we're
to
the
get into my
Dragonborn.
traveling gear. Give
Which
me a
is
minute,
fine.
and I'll be ready.
Cool. We're gonna go kill a dragon.
Let's get on the road to Kynes Grove.
But before we do that, while we are here in Riverwood, I never returned the golden claw that we got out of Bleak Falls Barrow, so I'm gonna take that back.
The sooner you found it. I'm gonna put this back where it belongs. I'll never forget this. You've done a great thing for me and my sister. Don't let my sister do anything foolish.
Cool. 400 gold. That's a decent payout for something that we were doing already anyway. And now we're gonna go ahead and take the horn back first. And when we do, the Greybeards are going to yell at us very loud with their dragon words. But it's a good thing, like an official welcome kind of thing.
Ah, you've retrieved the horn of Jorgen Windcaller.
Oh yeah, and he teaches
done.
us
You have now passed
the last
over.
word
Come with me.
for that first shout we learned.
This dragon.
Which is very useful. I mean, we're not really going to use it that much, but
The final word of unrelenting force.
on a typical playthrough, it's probably the best shout. I mean, a lot of people will argue that, but the damaging shouts like fire breath, ice breath,
With all three
after a
words
certain point, they don't
together,
really do anything
This shout is much more
because the
powerful.
damage is so low and it can't be
Use it
scaled.
wisely. Master Wolfgar will now gift
The other utility shouts, like Ice Form is useful, and Elemental Fury, depending on your build. But as far as, since this is the first shout you get, and shouting people off of cliff sides and stuff is just great.
Dragonborn, we would speak to you. Stand between us and prepare yourself. Few can withstand the unbridled voice of the Greybeards, but you are ready. Mingra, Rosisan, Rundu, you have tasted of the Greybeards and passed through unscathed. High Hrothgar is open to you.
Alright, so now I'm completely welcome to anything in here. Later in the game, the main use that you have for the Greybeards in this place, you can sleep here, I'm pretty sure, but the main thing is to talk to these guys and get locations of different words of power. And you can only do it so often, if I remember correctly. But if you really want to know where a word of power is, you can look it up on the internet. Again, there's specific shouts that are useful to certain builds. I personally, on my original playthrough, really enjoyed using the Marked for Death shout, but altogether it was not a shouting's not a real big part of the game for me personally.
I can take you to any... Where do you want to go? Climb and back, and we'll be off.
So now that we've taken care of
Ever been to
all of our
Windhelm?
loose ends,
Oldest city in Skyrim by some account.
I'm going
They
to
say
take the
the big
carriage
old
to
palace there was
Windhelm
built
because
by
I don't
these-
feel like walking all the way from Iverstead to Kynes Grove. And Windhelm is very close to Kynes Grove, and we're going to go fight the dragon and show Delphine what we can do. That way she can tell us more about who she is and her organization, which we're going to skip as much of that dialogue as possible, because for those of you that don't already know, which most of us do, but she's part of the Blades. The Blades in Oblivion were the Emperor's bodyguards, but they don't do that anymore. They were originally dragon hunters, like way back when. And so they basically have no purpose now because they're not the Emperor's protectors anymore, and they're also not dragon slayers anymore because there are no dragons until now. There's only 2 blades left. One of them's an old guy we haven't met yet, so it's like...
No, you don't want to go up there.
whatever,
A
but it's
dragon.
cool
It's attacking.
to throw the blades back in to this one
Well,
after
I don't know what
Oblivion.
it's doing up there, but I'm not
You
waiting
get a
around
pretty
to
nifty
find out.
looking set of Blades armor and a Blade sword, which is basically a katana, so that looks cool. Guess it's the long way I'm trying to take here.
Salokunir, Zil Grotova Ursa. Slen, Teed Ball.
Hey, he looks familiar. Could be the dragon that started all this crap. But it is Alduin, the first real dragon. Bringing these others back to life.
Full side Doki. Su'u Koral need no nose to hide.
Well, that was quick.
Damn. You did it.
I wasn't even sure I could damage him yet because of the dialogue.
What's above? So you really are. It's true, isn't it?
Yes, it is
I
true.
owe
I tried to
some
tell
answers,
you.
don't I? Go ahead. Whatever you want to know. Nothing.
Whatever we
else.
want to know.
Not a damn thing.
Turns out she doesn't
I
know
was just as
anything
surprised as you to
about
find that
anything
big
just
black
like
dragon
us.
here. I owe you some answers, don't I? Go ahead. Whatever you want to know. Nothing held back. Really? Interesting. Damn
Yeah,
it.
that's the
We're
one that
blundering
was a
around in the dark
Helgen.
here. I'm one of a very
What do we
for
do
the lab.
now, basically?
Now that dragons are coming back, our purpose is the first thing.
Yeah,
The
next
Thalmor
move.
are our best lead. If they aren't involved, they'll know nothing. The Empire,
She thinks
and now
it's
the
the elves
dragons
that
are,
were taking over
who
the
else
whole
gains
world.
from that but the Thalmor? If we problem is that place is.
And we're gonna have to sneak
Meet me
into
back.
the embassy
Keep
to
an
figure
eye on
out
the
if they
sky.
know anything.
This is only going to get worse. Do you need something?
Great. Okay. So now we go back to Riverwood, right? Yep. That's one thing about the main quest is you always jump back to Riverwood, even when you just go there for a little bit of dialogue and then go somewhere else. Now, why couldn't you have just told me where to go next? So it'll make me jump all the way back to Riverwood, but it's all good.
Oh, what happened?
I don't think you were followed. Come on, I have a plan.
Back down into the secret room so that she can tell us to go meet her friend in solitude and get ready to go into the embassy.
I figured out how we're going to get you into the Thalmor embassy.
We are going to have to put some clothes on briefly
I've been doing this a long time, remember?
just to get into this
The
embassy
Thalmor
place.
ambassador, Elenwen,
But after that,
regularly
I assure
throws
you,
parties
we'll be
where
back
the
down
rich
to our
and-
loincloth.
I can get you into one of those parties. I have a contact. His name is... I'll get... While you're doing... Meet me at the Solitude Stables after you've arranged things with Melbourne. Any questions? Sounds good. Be careful.
So off to Solitude to talk to Melbourne.
Eastmir's beard, you...
And I don't believe we've been there yet. Oops, we are going back to the Solitude, or excuse me, the Whiterun stables to take the carriage to Solitude. Gotta love the loading screens.
Need a ride? Where do you want to go? Climb and back, and we'll be off. First time to Solitude? Beautiful old city. Capital of Skyrim, but I'm sure you're...
Alright, so we're going to go in and talk to Malborn, and what he's going to do is smuggle in our stuff that we need
Positions.
in order to accomplish the mission at the embassy. So we're just going to talk to him, give him our trusty wooden sword and our little bit of jewelry,
Yes.
and then we're going to make our way to the embassy. Once we're inside, we'll get
Good
our
morning.
stuff back from him and
Really?
continue on.
You're who she... Here's the deal.
Of course,
don't
this
plan-
guy's got a real
Give me
smart
what you
mouth.
can't live without, and I'll
I
make
guess I
sure
can't blame
to get
him
it
when we
into
show
the
up
embassy.
in nothing, but
Okay, I'll get this inside the embassy for you. I've got to go.
sword.
I'll find you at the party. Don't worry.
Necklace and ring. And we're gonna need one of our potions. And that's it. Good to go. Off to meet Delphine. She's just right outside at the stables. so
Hey,
no
the
big
way you
deal.
walk around at home is your own business. When you're at home.
See, I want to go ahead and apologize. I realize a lot of this episode has been loading screens, but hey, that's what a lot of Skyrim is anyway. Excellent gameplay, a timeless classic video game, but infamous for loading
Your
screens.
job is
so
to get into the party without being fingered as a spy. I'll take care of the rest.
really getting the full experience here.
The roads of Skyrim lead to many dangers.
Greybeards have summoned the Dragonborn to High Hrothgar. Such a thing has not happened for hundreds of years.
Let's talk to Delphine.
Have you given Malborn
Yep,
the...
Malborn's
Good.
all set.
But the only way... Which means you need to... When you're ready, you'll only have what... You
She wants us to wear party clothes so that we look the part.
go to a party at the Thalmor Embassy dressed like that. I guess that will have to do. You should pass for a real guest, at least until you open your mouth.
Remember,
Ready to
this
board
is
the carriage
strictly
to
a
the embassy?
disguise.
This is no... Now do whatever it is you need to do,
I did
and
not
let's
mean
get
to tell her
going
to hold
before we
on
miss
there.
our chance.
Let's go.
Don't worry. Just make... Good luck.
Onward to the Thalmor Embassy, where we're going to show the High Elves that no amount of magic can save you from Loincloth and his trusty wooden sword, the Stick of Truth. Okay, so here we are at the embassy.
Fellow
We're
latecomer,
going to go up the stairs, present our invitation, get inside, and
arriving by
start doing some spy work, searching for the information that the elves may or may not have about the return of the dragons. So we're going to save that for the next video. I just want to take the time to thank everybody again for tuning in. New episodes come out every Sunday and Wednesday, so be sure to tune in for those. Hit the like button and subscribe so that you'll be notified when those new videos hit, along with any other content that we're producing. You can find me on Facebook and Twitter at TheRedRanger22. One more shout out to my friend Celtic Crow. He's the one that made our introduction song from the last video that we're going to be using the rest of the series, as well as the background music going on right now. Thanks, Corey, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday.